In this section, I'm going to show you how to add animated objects or how to animate objects. For example, I'm going to add an aeroplane or a helicopter and then make it fly from one point to the other, from point A to point B. Let's do it. I'm going to drag the timeline or the slider to time 11th second. That is where I want my next animated object to appear on screen. So I move on to the right hand side panel, and then I choose props. I click on props and then I choose transport. So a number of these images are to be paid for, but there are a few free objects. Let's scroll down the page, and here there is a helicopter. Okay, so I hover over it and then click on it. It appears right at the center of the slide once again, and then I hover my cursor over it and then drag it over to the left hand side. Okay, now I am going to click on the gear icon and then I choose A to B. I'm going to click on it. Watch. Okay, now two images of the same thing appears on the screen. I hover my cursor over the first image and then I drag it. Okay, I drag it and I let it hover over the Philippines map because that's where I'm going to travel to. So, okay, that looks good. Now, let me do the settings on the timeline. It will appear at 11th second, and then I'm going to make it exit at the 17th second. So I drag the slider right to the very end, and then I'm going to extend the animating effect. As you can see by the darker blue color, I'm going to drag it to 13th second, so the animating effect will last up until there. A moment of truth for the helicopter. So I'm dragging the slider right to the very beginning, that is a 0th second, and let's check it out. Okay, that looks good. I move on to the left hand side panel and then I click on that plus icon that says blank slide. So click on that and then a new slide is added to my presentation. Now this is a blank slide. This is just for demonstration. So here I am going to add another animated object, or I'm going to animate another object. So I move on to the timeline at the bottom of the screen and then I drag the slider to the 5th second because I want my animated object to appear at the 5th second. And then I go back to the right hand side panel and then let me look for another object that I can place on the slide. Okay, I think this car over here, it's free and it looks good, so I click on it and then again it is placed at the center of the slide. Now I hover my cursor over it and then I drag it to the left hand side or wherever I want it to be. Let me quickly resize it. Okay, I think that looks good now. Now I hover or I click on the gear icon and then I click on A to B. Okay, a copy of the same image appears, and then I'm going to hover my cursor over the first one and then I drag it over to the right hand side. So, okay, that is good. Now I am going to drag the slider to the very beginning. Here we go. That is good. Let me show you another example of an animated object. I am going to set the timeline to 50.5 seconds. So I drag the slider to 0.50 seconds. Okay, and I'm going to close the transport props. Now I'm going to click on text. Okay, and then choose video titles. I scroll down a little and I choose this one over here. I click on it. Now it is placed at the center of the slide. And then I hover my cursor over it and I'm going to quickly relocate it. Something went wrong on its timeline, so I'm going to reset it to appear at 0.50 seconds. So again, I'm going to drag it over to 0.50 second, including the slider. Okay, I think that is good for now. And I am now going to enter or type text, and it's called jeepney. So I'm going to click on that text over there, double click on it actually, and then type jeepney. Now I cannot see it because it's all white, so I'm going to change the color to, let's say, a dark gray, and then I'm going to change the font style as well. Okay, I think that's good. Quickly increasing the font size and then relocating it within the box. Okay, that looks perfect. And now I am going to select only jeepney text, and then I click on it and then I drag it to the top. Okay, now I am going to drag the box a little further down, and you can see that there's another text box over there. I'm going to remove that, so I click on it and then it gets selected, then delete it. Okay, so now I am going to click on the text box or the box, click on the gear icon. Okay, now I'm going to choose A to B for animating it. A new instance of the same box is created. I click on that and then I drag it to enclose jeepney text. Okay, and then let me quickly drag the other box a little lower. Okay, I think that looks good. And now I go back to the timeline and I click on the icon right next to the slider, and then I choose the entry to be up. Okay, click on that. Now I am going to test what I have created just now. So I drag the slider right to the very beginning and then click. Beautiful.